Terrence Howard, recently, there's a story about him where he owes about $1 million in taxes. And I guess the Justice Department ended up suing him for it. So he had left some voicemails for the person. You know what I'm talking about?
No.
Okay. So basically he left these long like tirades on the voicemail of the woman who's kind of in charge of the whole tax evasion lawsuit. And he said, 400 years of forced labor, never receiving any compensation for it. Now you have the gall to try to prosecute and charge taxes to the descendants of a broken people that are responsible for causing the breakage. In truth, the entire United States should by default become the property of the descendants of slaves. But since you don't have the ability or the courage to do it, let's try us in court. We're going to bring you down. So basically he's saying because he's black, he shouldn't pay taxes.
Why can't he just say, bitch, I'm not paying taxes? Why are you throwing in slavery and all of this? Just single it. Just fuck using the group. No, this has something to do with you.
I mean, Wesley Snipes tried to use the same approach.
Yeah, of course.
To avoid paying. And that's how he ended up in prison.
Yeah, like it's you feel sorry for, these actors and some of these artists. They're being taken advantage of when they're in the need of trying to look for jobs, trying to get jobs, because they're signing, deals that doesn't help them in the long run, right? I heard Terry Crews say it. He's like, don't say yeah and really mean no.
Right, yeah, he was on Shay Shay.
Right, and that is a very powerful statement because that is the truth. You signed the contract.
Right.
You signed it. You wrote it. I know you didn't know this was going to be that big. It happened to be that big. You got paid $2,000 for it. You're this superstar riding around in a Corolla now, right? But everybody think you're a millionaire because you got in a fucking award because of it, right? You signed the contract, right? But now,
and you got
your
paid.
Next contract, you get to demand more money because of this. So if your mind is still stuck on what you signed before, then you're fucked, because we all got to do something for pennies to get to where we want to get to.
Always. You know how many free interviews I do? And I just did Pierce Morgan. You think I'm getting paid for that? I just did Drink Champs.
Mm-hmm.
I do Breakfast Club. I don't get paid for any of these. I don't even get flown out. I didn't get flued out. But that's fine because I understand it's the strength of it's a brand. big platform. I understand it'll help my brand and so forth. And here's the thing about business that annoys me that most people who aren't business people don't fully realize. There's been lots of times, even in my career, where let's just say I did an interview with somebody and I either paid them for the interview or sometimes they did it for free, for promo. And the interview does extremely well. And they'll come back after the fact and be like, hey man, I see you, this guy's this many million views. Why don't you break me off some? Or why don't you give me some more money? And they'd be like, no, that's not the agreement. And sometimes they'd get mad at me and diss me on the internet, whatever else. But here's the reality of how business works. There's lots of times like this, like for example, like a Terrence Howard or a Taraji P. Henson who talked about how, she only got paid $150,000 for Benjamin Button and so forth. You always hear about these stories, but have you ever heard a story where someone got paid to do some sort of job and the project ended up losing money? And the person said, something, I feel bad that your project lost money. Let me give you some of that money back that you paid me.
It doesn't happen. It doesn't happen.
I lost money on the Evander Holyfield interview. I lost money on the Dominique Wilkins interview because once you count the appearance fees and the production costs and stuff like that, and that's fine. I eat that. I would never, ever hit these guys up and say, hey, man, I didn't do too well. Can you kick me back some? No. They came in and they did their job.
Yep.
And they did it to their full capacity. They answered every question. They were professional. They were on time. They weren't Lamar Odom. You know what I'm saying? They were fully sober. I have absolutely no complaints. They're true professional gentlemen. And I would never, ever, ever, ever ask them for anything back because ultimately it's on me because I'm the one taking the risk and I'm the one paying the bills.
Yeah, every business is not, I think everyone goes into, when you don't run your own business or you're in that mindset, you don't know what's something that's on the right path
Yeah.
to get more money, or this is just one stop,
Yeah.
right? So, sometimes you're going to take an L, but that L right today might generate money later on.
Exactly. And that's the thing. So you can't sit there and keep complaining that, they didn't pay me enough for this, but all the projects you did that lost money, like, for example, The Color Purple is, last I checked, has lost $60 million. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm sure there was a bunch of films that Terrence Howard did that did poorly, and after you paid everyone, they lost money. He's not offering to kick back any amount of money, but people complain when something blows up and they got very little, but they negotiated that amount. They negotiated that. They agreed. They signed the contract. They did their job, and they got paid. Now, if they didn't get paid at all, I get it. Like, I was promised this, and they only gave me this. No, they got paid, and you're right. I actually, me and Terry Crews have had our back and forth and stuff like that, but I completely agree with him. You can't say yes and then really mean no and be mad about it a year later.
Yeah, but that's why they're in the situations that they're in when it comes to, because they're bickering about it, and then there's other talent that really understands that I need these platforms to get to where I'm going to get to. Like,
I was happy to do Drink Champs. Me and Nori had, our little issues for a bunch of years, and we worked it out, and it was like, I'm going to come in and do it, and it was one of my favorite interviews. It got 1 million views. Do I get a piece of those 1 million views? No, nor would I ever ask for it. That's on him and Revolt and whoever else is, there's that big ad in the middle of it. That's all their money. Yeah. I'm cool with that. I'm not tripping. I would never ask them for nothing. Now in the future, I might be like, hey, come do my platform.
Yeah, that's what I said. In the future.
And if he says no, okay, that's cool. I'm not tripping. It is what it is. Like we all do stuff for our own reasons. And to sit back and be bitter about it and feel like you got ripped off and, I'm going to need more because I see you're getting this.
Looking at other people's, like that's what I said.
I just don't like that. I just don't like that whole vibe because it doesn't go both ways.
But that's only a small group.
Yeah, but it's a loud group.
It's a loud group.
It's a loud group.
It's always a loud group because it's so little.
Yeah.
Right. So they have to speak louder. But just like anything, I remember Kevin Hart when he said, right when he was getting put on, right, and he was catching fire. People don't realize, you can say whatever you want. Oh, he's an industry plant. We don't even know what the fuck that means.
Yeah, that's a make-believe term.
It's just make-believe, right? Right? I don't know what it means. Right? Yeah. He said this, my price was low. See, instead of using Kevin Hart, give me 20 million, I'm taking $1 million. Man, have to do these, because what I'm doing is opening up the audience for my special. See, people didn't realize I'm doing the movies for my specials. My specials is what I own 100%. So I'm doing Jumanji for cheap. I'm doing Ride Along for cheap. I'm doing this movie, Think Hard or Hard. What's the...
Yeah, the one with...
Will Ferrell,
yeah.
I'm doing them movies to push that audience, opening up the audience for my...
Get Hard.
Yeah. For my special.
No Diddy.
Right? So that's what I'm doing it for. I'm not trying to be a billionaire off of the movies. I'm trying to get these movies, put my name on all these so it can push me here because I own it. It's smart business.
Exactly.
Right? So if you're charging $5 million and he comes in and say, I'll do it for $1 million, who the fuck you think you're going to go with? You're going to go with the cheaper one. Yeah, I'll take him.
No one puts a gun to your head, because I remember when we looked at the Taraji P. Henson, Benjamin Bunn situation, she was like 4th on the call list. So I remember they gave her 150. She asked for 500, and they turned it down. Had a $150 million budget. So from the outside looking in, it's like, oh, this is so little. But from their point of view, they already got paid Brad Pitt, Cate Blanchett, like, big Hollywood stars. And I love Taraji. I think she's an incredible actress.
Yes, great.
But at the end of the day, she was lower on the call list, and if she said no, there was probably a list of people that were going to say yes, based on their budget. No hard feelings. But she did it. She got an Academy Award nomination for it. She killed the role, and I'm sure it brought in extra money from other roles.
Yeah,
and ultimately, look, man, you know, I'm glad I do a lot of platforms for free, and people, you know, doing Drink Champs brought me more interviews, and people hit me up who I haven't talked to in a while, like, yo, I want to come in and do some shit with you. I really got a different aspect of who you are. Like, yo, like, people understand, like when you're successful, you do a lot of free shit.
Yeah.
You do a lot of free shit. I don't think you get paid, you know, every interview you do and stuff like that.
I do, you know, so I got Nightcap with Shannon Sharpe on YouTube.
Yeah.
Right? So right now there's 3 sports shows, live sports shows on YouTube right now. It's Pat McAfee, and then my Gilbert Arenas.
Yeah.
And then you have Shannon Sharpe, which I'm on there too. So I'm on 2 of the 3, right? I'm only on once a week. So it's Ocho and Shannon. They started it. They added me in as a basketball, so I'm every Wednesday. I don't charge.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Because it was a good look for you.
I remember when they first said it, and Shannon wanted to start a new channel, and I was going back. I was like, no, he can keep the same channel. I can come on Wednesday. Yeah. I don't want no prop. I don't want any of it. I just want to be attached, right? To build my channel, build my brand. Like everything is like just being associated with, because you are on Undisputed, right?
Yeah.
You are on First Take. You are legitimized. I'm still trying to make my reigns and my name. So there's nothing you can pay me that's gonna be worth putting a certified stamp. I'll take the certified stamp.